The Trip to a New Perspective by Anthony Corrales. A good quote I like to live by is, "It is better to give than to receive." Personally, when I help someone else out, I feel good because I know I could have made their day better. Helping others is another way of spreading joy. An example of this is when you help out a homeless person by giving them money. That money can go a long way for them, and it could also help their day start off on a good note. The Trip to a New Perspective started on December 23rd when I took a flight to Mexico from LAX to Benito Juarez Airport. As we landed in Mexico, we met a cab driver who agreed on driving us to the small city of El Colomo. The reason I was in Mexico for Christmas break was because my aunt decided she wanted to get out of the city life and move back to her childhood home, and she needed some help. On the way to my aunt's house, I noticed that all the houses around there weren't the nicest, nor were they the biggest, compared to the houses back at home. The very next day, my aunt needed some groceries, so me and my dad decided to walk down the street to the nearest grocery store. I noticed that people were looking at us different. Somehow they knew we weren't from there. They could determine that just by what we were wearing. As the days came by, it was finally Christmas. My parents allowed me to bring one gift with me on the trip. One of my dad's cousins invited us over to hang out and also so I could meet his two sons. He greeted us at the door, and the first thing I noticed was that their tree only had 4 presents underneath, and they had 4 people in their family. Normally at home, I alone would have 4 presents to myself. Feeling bad for the 2 kids, I asked my mom if I could give them my gift, and she was absolutely shocked. The reason why I did this was because something clicked in my head. It was that I take a lot for granted. I wondered why the houses were so small, and that was because that's all they could afford. And being born into poverty, that's all they had. The whole toy situation was because I knew that these kids would much rather have my toy than what their parents had gotten them. And I also knew that people would die to have a lifestyle like some of us have. The nice houses, the nice clothing, the Audis, the BMWs. And from that day on, I decided I wanted to take more appreciation in the smaller things.